Welcome to the Porn Reboot podcast, where you get practical tips to gaining control over your porn or sex addiction. We help ambitious men end their out-of-control sexual behavior with pornography, sex, and masturbation so that you can maximize your life, perform at your potential, and remain in control in the driver's seat, which is where you have to be in order to gain or maintain the success you want in life. I'm your host, J.K. Emezi, certified sex and porn addiction recovery coach. Welcome to the episode. Let's talk about why high-achieving men struggle more than other men. Let's start by removing a very comfortable myth from this conversation. When you struggle with digital overstimulation, whether it is spending too much time on your phone, a specific app, pornography, it's not really a sign of weakness in guys who are just not performing in life, guys who are low performers. It is actually disproportionately common in men who are high achievers. And that may be uncomfortable if you're a high achiever, but I see it all the time. Just stay with me for a moment. Average men don't operate under performance pressure. You don't need to be under pressure all the time, because you don't have that responsibility. You do not carry the risk of running a business or managing a team. You don't have a reputation to maintain or manage over time, constantly maintaining that image. You don't have to experience a specific type of decision fatigue. And those of you who are high achievers understand that decision fatigue. You are making highly consequential decisions across multiple areas at once. Like sometimes by the time I get to like Friday morning, I'm hoping it's the weekend, but I know I'm going to work through the weekend. But I've just made so many freaking decisions. It's insane. I'm exhausted from just making decisions where every single decision, I know if I fuck it up, I'm going to pay the price a few months down the line. And the price could be a price that I have to pay over a period of years. So that pressure, the high stakes, it forces you to be able to manage your life in a certain way. And if it isn't built internally through some sort of deliberate structure that you have, then guess what? You are going to source it from somewhere. And it is going to be sourced from something external, which provides the most relief. You know where I'm going with this. Usually it's pornography. Usually it's some sort of doom scrolling behavior, but it's usually porn. Now, this doesn't happen because you're weak. I want to make it clear. When your brain is constantly under pressure to perform, it is optimized to regulate itself very quickly. That is what it's designed to do. Here is a system that most men have never been shown before. When you use pornography, right, it doesn't provide pleasure in any meaningful way. What it does is that it provides these instant neurochemicals with no negotiation. You don't need to be vulnerable. You don't need to be accountable. You don't even need to recover from it. You just need to do what you need to do and you can keep moving. It's actually the fastest available relief from that internal pressure that you are dealing with, that internal pressure from being a high achiever. And this is why pornography and any sort of overstimuli with digital material, it is disproportionately attractive to men who have the most responsibility in life. Here's how it works if we were to talk about it as like a trade. You get these artificial spikes from whatever you're doing. You're moving from website to website, or you're opening multiple tabs, you're going from genre to genre, just looking for the thing that's going to give you the most hits. So all of these spikes increase the threshold that your brain requires to actually feel relief. And that means that real intimacy becomes muted. It just disappears. You cannot get it from your wife because real intimacy doesn't have those multiple spikes. It is more consistent. Now, the real work you're actually doing, remember, your work also has to produce dopamine. That means that there needs to be achievement at the end of it. It is like telling you, okay, there's going to be achievement, and then dopamine is released. Your actual work starts to feel worse because you fucked up your reward circuitry. You've increased the intensity that is required for you to feel and experience that feeling of achievement in your regular work. let's put work aside and let's talk about your rest. You never feel like you're well rested enough because your nervous system was never designed to down regulate from something so artificial. I'll say it again. If you don't feel rested and you are crashing throughout the day after you've been binging on pornography that week, it is because your nervous system was not designed to operate at such a high level from that artificial elevation. It's not designed for that. So the higher that you operate in life, the more responsibilities that you have, the more expensive this problem becomes. And you don't end up ever actually crashing. See, you can't crash because you don't ever get enough rest. So you just end up plateauing in this weird place where you're not ever doing enough, feeling enough, motivated enough, resting enough, or anything enough. Now you're still performing. Literally, you're performing what you're supposed to do. You're not doing it, you're performing it. But usually you're going to be performing at like maybe 70 at your best to 80% of your actual capacity. Now, to the average person, 70 to 80% at your level still looks like exceptional performance. So you normalize it. You're the only person that knows you're not performing at the level you should. And then you become a pro. I see you guys doing it, but those who know. You start explaining the fact that you're feeling, you're acting a little bit dull or you're a little bit slower. You're just like, it's just stress. When you feel a little bit flat, you tell a story about it, right? You just, that's what happened when you operate at this level. It's like really boring. You're just doing the same thing over and over again. And that's how you get to success. That's you just explaining it away. So you start telling yourself, eventually, once you start lying to other people, you start lying to yourself. You start telling yourself that this is what it's supposed to feel like to carry the weights that you are carrying. But you and I know it isn't. Because if there was no dopamine involved in our success and our growth and competition and being the best and providing a great service for other people, we would not do it. You know that. This is what it feels like to carry that weight with a completely distorted and messed up reward system that's running under the hood. You fucked it up. So here's what changes when you decide to reboot and fix that. First of all, your ability to tolerate long stretches of effort is going to improve because your dopamine levels are going to get regulated again. It's not going to happen in a gradual way, but it's going to happen in a way that you can actually measure. Your emotional volatility, this is a big one. Freaking out, yelling at people, getting quickly irritated, not being able to sleep. Your wife is talking to you. You're like off on your phone, just like, oh, there's a fucking disaster that I need to fucking deal with. You stop doing that. It decreases. Your ability to make executive decisions returns to a place that you're not even going to recognize it. You have been living with this fucked up way of, let's just call it this flatness, this emptiness, this like, I don't know why I'm even doing this. I don't feel any enjoyment from it, that it started to feel normal. So when you start making very clear executive decisions and you come back, you tell your wife, you tell whoever, man, I had a really good day. I actually didn't want to leave work because I was enjoying it so much. You don't remember the last time that you even felt that way. Now let's bring it back home to intimacy. The depth of your intimacy is going to increase because you are no longer desensitized. Your intimacy was there, but the desensitization goes, when you want to grab your wife and you're just like, oh my God, why is she so cute? Why is she so fucking beautiful? Why, like, I can't believe I'm with this woman. If you're not feeling that anymore, bro, you've been jerking off too much. Again, I want to make it clear with rebooting, none of this shit is dramatic, okay? It's just predictable. I'm telling you what will actually happen, but I'm not saying it's going to happen in a dramatic way where overnight you're going to, oh my God, that's amazing. It's just the same way you understand systems. Systems don't recalibrate immediately. So if something is broken in one of our systems, we have to make some changes here and there. Then you tell the team, all right, cool, let's let the system run for another week and let's kind of see the data that comes out of it. That's literally how we do it here at Porn Reboot. We are professionals. I have built systems for recruiting, systems for sales, systems for recovery, systems for behavioral health, systems for managing money. Like that is what you have to do at a high level. And it's the same way that I work with my clients. And it works perfectly, brilliantly, predictably with individuals who understand the importance of having these systems. If you're a high achiever, you don't need fucking rehab. You don't need to be given this identity, this label. You don't need to like make a public confession in a fucking group. You are not the same as normal people. So stop acting like normal people. Stop going to these fucking normal people, coaches, and groups. You need to fix your nervous system the way a high achiever's nervous system is supposed to be fixed. It's supposed to be applied to your life discreetly, quietly, in a structured way. You need to be supported by professionals who are also high performers. You need to work with someone who understands the cost of operating at the level you are operating at. I want to make it clear, you are not broken. You are, let's just call it, your nervous system is dysregulated, and we will help you regulate it. The correction is the process called rebooting and is built specifically for men who carry the weight of decision-making and responsibility that you do. If you are ready to seek help for this, then go to the link in the description below this podcast episode, put in an application for a call. It is a discreet call. Whomever reaches out to you and you speak with is not a fucking random. It is a person who has been through this program. It is a person who is a high performer themselves. Most of our reboot strategists run 6 to 7 figure businesses themselves. Probably shouldn't be revealing this, but fuck it, that's the truth. They are passionate about what we do here. And so they want to work with high performers to get what they have received too. So click on the link, get on a call, and let's teach you a system to regulate yourself. I'm JK, your brother in this struggle. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Porn Reboot podcast. I'll speak to you later on in the week. If you found this episode helpful, here are 4 ways I can help you with your out-of-control sexual behavior for free. The first way is to grab a free copy of my book, Confessions of a Porn Addict, 7 Secrets of Porn-Free Men at elevatedrecovery.org, or visit the link in the description below this episode. The second way is, if you're not sure where to start, but you'd like to learn more about my team and I, if you'd like to spend time with like-minded professionals and business owners who are controlling their behavior, then join our free and confidential group, the Porn Reboot group on Facebook. There's a link to join in the description below this episode. The third way is if you need help right now because you have a burning issue, your behavior with pornography is hurting you mentally or emotionally, you're about to lose your relationship, you want to live up to your potential, be an authentic man, and free yourself from shame, guilt, and underachieving, then click on the link in the description below this episode that says free coaching call. And the fourth way is to leave us a 5-star review if you enjoy this podcast, so that we can reach more men who are struggling in silence and bring back the lessons we learn from coaching them to freedom.